all of us watching that dunk. Welcome to the Celtics post-game live presented by New England Ford Dealers and Ford Trucks. Eddie House, Amina Smith here with you. And the Celtics beating the Orlando Magic 128-111. And Eddie, this Celtics team, they played fast, they played physical. They led by as much as 25 in tonight's matchup. How did Boston impose their will?
Well, I thought they were physical from the tip. As soon as the ball went up, I thought they were physical on both ends of the court. And I thought more so they were extremely physical on the offensive end. They were playing through the Orlando Magic for the most part. And I think also we got to give a shout out to the ancillary players that went out there and did everything. We talk about Stevens, his great minutes. Hauser and Pritchard, they played phenomenal. Brissett came in, hasn't played in I don't know how long. I can't remember the last time he's seen the floor, but he came out there and played extremely well. And Keita came out there and gave us a much needed size inside the paint. We got some block shots, rebounded the basketball. I thought our bench did a fantastic job because remember last time they played, their bench outplayed our bench. That team outplayed us, but tonight that did not happen. The
Celtics bench, they put up 47 points tonight in this win. All right, let's get to the Dunkin' Dunk of the game. And it's all about Jaylen Brown. And when you take a look at this, the Dunkin' Dunk of the game, it's all about the dunk. And Jaylen Brown with 3 huge dunks in the first half. We know Jaylen Brown, he sets the tone, and he did that in tonight's match. That one, disrespectful.
That's the one right there. Mind your business, young fella.
Look at Kristaps Porzingis. Every time I see that reaction, it's like all of us. It's very on point. Eddie, we talk about Jaylen Brown always setting the tone for this Celtics team. However, tonight felt a little bit different. He was a little bit more aggressive in that first half, but also carried it over to the second half. What did you see out of Jaylen Brown in this win?
Well, again, we always talk about how he gets off to that fast start early in the first quarter and kind of sets the tone for us. I thought his aggressiveness, again, his physicality. I thought he was extremely physical going to the basket. And I think that he made a statement like, hey, I'm going to the basket. When I go to the basket, I'm going to dunk this thing. So get out the way or get it put on your head. So I thought that it's just what he does. Like 14 points in the first half is what he does night in and night out. He sets the tone. We took advantage. That's the one thing I can say. I thought Joe did a great job, and also the players recognizing, taking advantage of the mismatches. When we had size advantages, we took advantage of it. They picked on Cole Anthony again and again and again in the pick and roll when they were switching, to the point where later in the game they stopped switching. They had him fighting to get over, and from that point it was putting a lot of pressure on the defense. But Jaylen Brown is definitely the tone setter. It seems like he's always ready to go 100 at the beginning of the game while other guys are trying to get their game legs under him. And
Jaylen Brown also with 3 rebounds and 4 assists, finding different ways to impact the game. What was he able to do best for the Celtics?
I think set the tone. I mean, that's really what it is, and I think that's part of his role. He has many roles. He has to wear many hats on his team and do many things for this team. But I think the main one is getting us off to a good start. Him getting off to a good start, setting the tone offensively, being aggressive, attacking the basket, not settling. And I think that trickles down throughout the rest of the team, where if he could just settle for jump shots, but he doesn't. He attacks. He gets to the pump fakes, the reverse pivots, the spin, the fadeaway. And that fadeaway has been money the last few games.
Oh, it definitely has been for Jaylen Brown. And we mentioned that bench, 47 points out of the bench in this Celtics win. And it was a big half for Sam Hauser, the first half. Peyton Pritchard also the entire game. He had timely shots in tonight's matchup. What did you see out of the Celtics bench in order to push Boston to a win?
I thought their energy level was at an all-time high. They played, and Doc used to say this all the time, the ball finds energy. I thought Sam played with great energy. I thought Peyton played with great energy, and the ball was finding them. The guys were running to the spots. They would relocate to make themselves available. Right here, just being in the right spot. Jaylen knows where he's at, shooting the ball with confidence. Again, being in the right spot, floating to the corner, giving your guy an outlet if he has nowhere to go, knowing that you are the outlet. Another one right here, Brissett, relocating, finding a way to find a shot, not just hoping that a guy gets you the ball, but make yourself available so you can get the ball. I just thought that those guys, I thought our bench just came in and they played phenomenal. I mean, they were under control. They didn't try to do too much, and they did everything that was asked for, that we've been asking for them, and the team has asked for them. They did that and exceeded it tonight.
A lot of people had questions about the Celtics' depth in the bench coming into this season. How did they answer some of that tonight, being down Al Horford, being down Kristaps Porzingis, and also Luke Kornet?
When it's situations like that, it makes it a lot more it's a lot easier coming into a game because you're going to get these minutes, right? And it's not surprise minutes. but knowing that you're going to get minutes, knowing you're going to get opportunities, and they took advantage of it.
And let's bring in Scal, who's live inside of TD Garden right now. And Scal, we were talking about how the bench, they contributed huge to this win for the Celtics over the Magic. What was your biggest takeaway after this matchup?
These guys always shoot the ball well. They just don't get a lot of shots. Well, tonight, with guys out, you're going to get extended minutes. They're going to play today a much more pace and space offense. You got a lot of 5 out today. So those guys just got a lot of looks. When they were trying to pick on Cole Anthony and they were sending 2 to Tatum, you'll get an open shot from a Hauser. You saw the pace where they're pushing the ball up the floor. You got Hauser or Pritchard in transition. So I thought the bench across the board, whether it be toughness plays, which I feel like they make every night, it's tonight I just felt like they just got a lot more shots, and they knocked them down because they knew they were going to play a lot.
Well, we know how physical Orlando was going to be coming into this game. How physical were we, though? Like, you were sitting there, it's different being there and watching it from TV. How physical were we from start to finish?
Yeah, you know what, Eddie? We just played super fast today. Like, we played with force. You know, there's a difference between, you know, you're bumping, stuff like that. Today, everything was fast and with force. When we got a matchup and a guy would attack, you saw Tatum getting downhill, dropping those shoulders. How about Jaylen Brown setting the tone with that lightning bolt up the basket, up the floor to the dunk? So we just played with a lot of force. And then, you know, we still got smashed on the glass, so that type of thing. And it's still, that's somewhat of an issue for us, but especially when we're small. But I just felt like we played fast, crisp, and we moved the ball with the over. I think we had 31 assists, but we didn't turn the ball over, only 10 turnovers. So that type, when we play that way, you know, there's a lot of ways this team can win. We talk about it all the time. This team tonight, they won with speed and force.